if you can hear the train in the background, but that's one of the benefits of living out here. We got a nice view of the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad line as it comes through Mountain Air and heading the east and west routes through here, carrying a lot of cargo. Anyway, it's not so loud that it keeps us up in the middle of the night or anything. But anyway, if you're new to our channel, welcome to Nature Preserve Life. We bought a couple buildable lots outside of Mountain Air, New Mexico, maybe a couple years ago, maybe less than that. And we started repairing one of the lots, the upper lot we really wanted to build on first. And it's been taking some time. It takes a while to get these culverts in place and a little road built over it and stuff, repairing the driveway basically. And then we ran into some problems with our well. The trunk line to our property has some kind of big leak in it. And anyway, we'd always planned on, as we get closer to pulling a permit, get a camper trailer out in the lot and live there while we build and be owner builders, do the building ourselves, maybe hire a little help for the bigger, tougher stuff. But anyway, our goal was always to do it ourselves with either adobe bricks or other earthen materials like rammed earth. At this point, we've pretty much decided adobe bricks are preferred. And we always planned to build a whole bunch of them in advance and get it kind of prepped for the build, as we do have a kind of a stricter timeline here on our build. Being part of a fairly restrictive HOA, the covenants, codes, and restrictions do kind of require a one-year timeline, though there is some flexibility there just because of the supply chain problems that have happened during the pandemic and stuff. So there's some understanding there, but still you want to try to do what you can to get your timelines reasonable. Anyway, big surprise happened recently where instead of building and having a camper on site, one of the neighbors was moving back east to deal with family and stuff, and they were interested in selling. So we went ahead and picked up this property, and it's very convenient and close to our site, like 3/4 of a mile to the driveway, and probably less than a half a mile as far as the crows fly. Great location for us, and we're settling in, getting comfortable. Still have some more stuff to unpack and organize, but this is very convenient, great situation. And of course, the next thing we got to do as we get settled in here is we got to deal with that well, because I don't want to dump any more money into that upper lot, knowing there's a leak there, until we can get that well problem and the trunk line repaired, as it is a serious leak and you can't realistically use it. You got to dig that thing up and get it fixed. So we're going to take you along in this episode on that journey and try to get that trunk line fixed, or at least find it, and then see what we can do to get it fixed when the weather improves. So beautiful, cool, brisk morning out here in Mountain Air. I'll swing over and show you our beautiful view I have this morning. And here we are. The mountains won't have snow on them forever. It's not high enough in elevation here, but they are snow-capped at the moment. It looks beautiful from the deck here as we wake up this morning and get to work and try to finish also unpacking and getting our life a little more comfortable here in this new. So that's kind of the view this morning off the master bedroom deck here. To give you an idea, as the sun's coming up, you can kind of see we're in the shadows right along here on this side of it while the sun's going across the valley and the mountains over there. So anyway, let's go check out the well, turn the water on that trunk line, and see if we can find a leak. What we're doing is we're trying to take care of getting the driveway in passable shape with placing a lot of culverts, and also we have a well leak on our well system on the lower trunk line. We have 2 trunk lines off this well, 2 mains, basically, or main valves, that then 2 trunk lines go off of each main. And the lower main has had a known leak for quite a while. We're finally identifying where it was, and we'll show that later in this episode. And we'll hopefully get everything ready and inspected for digging, and we'll hopefully go down about 4 feet or so to get to that trunk line, where we will find the leak and get it fixed. And just a little information for you. When they built this development back in the early to mid 2000s, they used these 2-inch blue 10-foot sticks or so. I'd heard from someone that they were like 20-foot sticks, but it looks like the samples I have here are just little 10-foot sticks. But I'll flip over and show you them and describe them, because they are not glued into the ground or glued together, each of these sticks, when they were placed. So it's not too difficult for them at the little seams, little junction points where they come together, for them to slide apart. So let me just give you a look at it. Okay, so these are these light blue 10-foot sticks here. It looks like an outer diameter of about 2 inches. And they have little rubber gaskets like this on each of the flanged ends here. You can kind of see one that's still in here. Anyway, we'll be using one of these to probably cut and try to slide them together and maybe even glue it so it doesn't happen again. Anyway, we got a few handful of these spare sticks here that the seller of this property we bought left for us, which is much appreciated, because we will be wanting to utilize this and not have to hunt down some hard to find pieces of something that's not used anymore. Though I could probably jury rig something and come up with a solution that doesn't leak. But anyway, that's what we got here, and shortly we'll be doing our digging and trying to find this and get the leak fixed, so we have a good functional well system on these 5 lots that are on this well system in Deer Canyon Preserve. Anyway, flip back here. So I'm doing some other chores at lunch today before I get back to work, but we're just trying to get moved in to the new house out here in Mountain Air. Anyway, it's been quite interesting weather. I should flip through and flip over again and show you some of the weather we got going on here on the other direction in the mountains in the distance. These are I think the back side of the Manzanos and the east side of the mountain range. So here it is. Kind of a normal view. Let me zoom up a little bit. Hopefully you can see the kind of the clouds dancing around, a little bit of dusting of snow up in the mountains. Anyway, it may look like a nice sunny warm day here in Mountain Air, New Mexico, but it's probably like 36, 37. The wind's blowing. It's getting right down to my bones, so I'm going to go back inside and warm up with Judy. Okay, so here we are. It's all marked off. One of the neighbors was out for a walk, and it looks like they were nice enough too to mark off where the digging probably has to happen to find the actual leak in the main. But we can see from the water here, we had the main on our the valve open, and we were testing it, and it looks like this is where it was gurgling up and making a good mess. So this is where we're going to have to dig to try to find the problem with it. It looks like it's gurgling right about in the center here, with this area kind of marked off where to dig. And it's right at the David and Doreen Contreras. Their driveway has the leak in the line, it looks like. Doesn't look like it's anywhere else as we were driving around. And it just coincidentally, the line looks like it comes down here, according to the map, to our meter hookup at our driveway here on our upper lot, and then it comes across the road here at some point and ends and terminates here. So
yeah, and you know, they have to open up the valves. They can find leaks, and I know you're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna waste all that water, and that's just what it is.
Yep,
it's just what it is. You gotta run it. You gotta figure it out.
A few days and find it.
So in the long run, you're saving.
Yeah, at least we know where to dig and where the line is. It needs to be cut and repaired and stuff. So when the weather gets a little nicer, we'll get a backhoe up here and start finding it and get it patched.
So we're excited. We're excited. Thanks, Lou. Shout out to Lou.
Yeah.
Woo, for finding it.
And Tom for
alerting us. So yeah, shout out to these guys. Are amazing.
Okay.
So
here we go. Let's get back in the warm car.
All right. Cheers.
But I can go ahead. How far is you did this lot go?
Oh, quite a ways, but as far as the water concerned, though, it's just right over in that area there, and
Right, yeah.
sounds like it's pretty clear.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Like I said, this is where it is.
Okay.
And it'll just run. It'll run along the road.
But it does like tee over to the box, though, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where we'll
Yeah,
eventually hook up
Yeah.
to.
Oh yeah. This is all hot. I mean, all it has to do is be plugged in, basically.
Okay, so when we build down there someday, what a day to be checking the electrical.
Whatever.
But anyway, at least we're safe to fix our little well problem. Much appreciated to know that.
Yeah, I'll open this up real quick. But see, the thing is, well, I don't really need to open it up because this isn't a transformer. This box here, all it is a junction box.
Okay.
And so it doesn't service anything other than all it is like a coupler.
Okay, to hook into.
And so they can only run the wire so far.
Okay.
So what they'll do is they'll put a box here like this, and then they'll put two elbows, and they'll elbow into this thing, and it just keeps going.
Okay.
Until someone comes along and says, okay, I'm going to build a house, or then they come out and they set a box, a different looking box. It's kind of lower and bigger.
Okay.
Those are transformers.
Okay.
Like if you go to where one of these houses is,
The further
you'll
down,
see
yeah.
a different looking box.
Ah, okay.
And maybe not on the road. It might be this, but what they'll do is, like most people, they put their transformers up here for some reason, just because they want better power or whatever. They'll run the line down the driveway, and then they'll put a transformer right next to their house.
Okay.
And so most of the boxes out on the road that you'll see are these. And then if you go into their houses, you'll see a green box by their house. Those are the transformers. And what they'll do is they'll just, like, if you're going to build a house on this lot here, chances are they'll just take a line out of here and run it down your driveway and then put a transformer.
Okay.
Or if you don't want that, they'll just put a transformer and run the line down, a secondary line down the driveway.
Okay.
And same thing here, they'll just shoot across the road, and they're supposed to be conduits, and most of the places there are. But
But it's not marked, obviously, unless this is the marker.
Well, they put that doesn't mark where it is. It just marks that there's something here.
Okay.
So somebody doesn't come out with a backhoe and just start digging. If they see that marker, they go, "Oops, wait, better go look."
Okay, good deal.
So that's not really to market per se, because they run it in the road. It's right on the corner. It's either right on the edge of the road or it's kind of just inside of the road. For some reason, I don't know. It's mainly because it was probably smoother. If we didn't have as much rock, that kind of stuff.
Maybe it's your turn.
Hi, friends. So we just wanted to thank you for joining us. We've kind of had fun with this episode.
And we're so excited. We finally found our leak, and we're going to get that sucker fixed soon.
Yep. And an extra little perk that we have is Thane's going to turn the camera around. I got to show you this sunset.
Another beautiful sunset from mountain
It's just
air.
explosive and amazing. So enjoy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching an episode of Nature Preserve Life in Mountain Air, New Mexico. If you'd like to follow along and support our channel, Please press the subscribe button and gong that bell to be notified. After all, it's free. Free is a very good price. In the future, we will plan to focus our episodes on our eco-friendly build of earthen construction and dark night astronomy, that big guy there, and tourism of the regional area, as well as establishing a Patreon account for the sole support of wildlife in Deer Canyon Preserve. So stay tuned. Cheers.